my fellow wizards, energy is something everyone needs at some point in Wiz. It's the shared resource used for everything from gardening and fishing to pet training and more recently cantrips. Also, minor rant, but I'm still salty that cantrips require energy to use and not mana. Like, isn't energy used enough already by all the other freaking activities in Wiz? That's why my cantrips are staying comfortably at level 1 where they deserve until they stop being so freaking greedy with my energy. Rant over. Anyway, it's always a good thing to have more energy in Wiz, but lots of the best energy gear is stuck behind paywalls like packs or bundles. But never fear, my fellow cheapskates. There's still a bunch of solid energy options you can get for free, and I'm going to show you how to get them so you can fish, garden, and pet train to your heart's content and never have to buy another one of these little crown wasters again. That's a lie. I know you impatient little gremlins can't help yourselves. Alright, let's start off with the best free energy gear sets you can nab. Note that many of these sets require farming to acquire and can be rare drops, so don't be discouraged if they take a little while to get. First is the Beastmaster's Footwraps, which can be used by any level wizard and drop from Ngozi the Beguiler, who is the final boss in the Tomb of the Beguiler dungeon in the Well of Spirits in Krokotopia. Unfortunately, only the boots can be gotten for free, but the full set is available in the crown shop for 3,500 crowns or as a drop from Pierrot's Plentiful Pet Provisions pack. Dang, that's a mouthful, if you're curious. The foot wraps give you 6 energy, whereas the full set would give you 18, so it's a bummer only the shoes are available to farm, but nevertheless, this is a great early option for low-level wizards if they're willing to farm for them. Next, let's discuss the hilariously named Baconator Set, which normally can be bought from the crown shop for 7,995 crowns, but also drops from the Waterworks and Nastron dungeons. The Savory Shroud, Tasty Tunic, and Delectable Hooves all drop from Luska Charmbeak and Silster Glowstorm in the Waterworks dungeon, as well as from the final fight in Nastrond with the 4 brothers Nordri, Austri, Sudri, and Vestri. You can equip this set starting at level 55, and the hat gives 12 energy, the tunic gives 10, and the boots give 8 for a total of 30 energy. This is a pretty solid option for mid-game since you'll likely be farming Waterworks anyway for the level 60 Waterworks gear, and let me just say, it's pretty dang stylish to boot. Who doesn't want to look like a ninja pig? Moving on, next is the Splendid Attire, which is normally found in the crown shop for 8,995 crowns. Thankfully, it can also be farmed for from Mirrorlake and a boss in the Elephant Graveyard. The Splendid Chapeau for 15 energy can be farmed from Tse-Tse Snaketail in Mirrorlake. The Splendid Tunic for 15 energy can be farmed from the Elephant Spectral Guardian and Tse-Tse Snaketail in Mirrorlake. And the Splendid Boots for another 15 energy can be farmed from the Starburst Spiders in Mirrorlake and then also randomly from the boss Gerald in the Elephant Graveyard. Mirrorlake is a great place to farm as you're guaranteed 2 rank 8 mega snacks every run, and besides the Splendid Attire, Mirrorlake also drops valuable crowns gear like the School Design gear and She gear for stitching along with the She staff, which is popular because it gives an extra 20% power pip chance and 13% accuracy. Gerald also drops Elegant School gear as well as Alyssa's Chill Band, which is handy for ice wizards trying to make high resist builds. Either way, the Splendid Attire can be equipped starting at level 70 and gives a total of 45 energy with all the pieces. Up next is the Greenwarden's Energetic Gear, which can be gotten from a few different sources at different level brackets, so bear with me. Focusing first on the level 80 version of the set, you can get it for free from the 5 boxes event that runs every few months, specifically the final box in Avalon. The level 80 Greenwarden's Energetic Mask with 15 energy drops from the Elite Battle Mage, Lore Master, and Sylvia Spitfire. The Shroud for 22 energy drops from Lore Master and Sylvia Spitfire, and the Boots for 16 energy drop from the Elite Battle Mage, Lore Master, and Sylvia Spitfire. While the level 80 gear is the best you can get from the 5 boxes, note that if you're a lower level, you can also farm the boxes from earlier worlds to get lower tier energy gear. The Wizard City box drops energy gear level 10 to 20, the Marleybone box drops levels 30 to 40, the Mushu box drops levels 40 to 50, and the Safaria box drops levels 60 to 70. With the best level 80 set, you're guaranteed a total of 53 energy if you farm for all the pieces. The 5 boxes event only runs once in a while, so keep your eyes peeled for when it starts and take advantage while you can to get your energy gear. Note that the Avalon box also drops some permanent fairy wing mounts as an added bonus while farming. However, we're actually not done yet because you can get the improved level 90 version of the same gear from a different source, the Spiralcup Gauntlet. Now, gauntlets are a bit trickier to access because you either need to spend money to own the gauntlet yourself or have a friend who can let you use their gauntlet at their house. If you're not friends with the owner, you cannot access any gauntlets you might find in housing tours unless you use less scrupulous means of gaining access, aka glitching, which could potentially get you in trouble with KingsIsle, so do so at your own risk. However, if you do gain access to the gauntlet, you can farm the tier 5 version of the dungeon if you're level 80 or above, but note that gauntlets automatically determine what tier you're entering from the level of the lowest wizard in your group. So if you bring a level 10 wizard along, the tier will automatically be tier 1, for example. The first fight, Rusty Tinderspark, can drop the level 90 energetic mask for 18 energy and energetic boots for 19 energy, whereas the fourth fight with Tamworth Brickhouse drops the energetic shroud for 24 energy. So depending on which pieces you need, you may not need to do the full gauntlet each time to get the set. Note that lower tiers also drop lower level energy gear, but obviously the level 90 version gives the most energy. Tier 1 gives level 10 gear, Tier 2 gives level 20 to 30 gear, Tier 3 gives level 50 gear, and Tier 4 gives level 70 gear. If, however, you do go ahead and get the full set of level 90 gear from Tier 5, you'll net yourself 61 energy total. Finally, for energy gear sets is the Pixie's Encanta set from another gauntlet, this time the grandtourney arena. You'll want to enter at the highest tier, Tier 5, with a minimum level of 80 to get the best energy gear, which is for level 100 plus wizards. Unfortunately, no matter which tier you pick, only the final boss, Sir Claudius... Yeah, I'm not even attempting that one. Anyway, only this guy drops the full set, but the fight right before him with Sir Stefan Badapple can also drop just the boots. This set includes the Pixie's Mask of Encanta with 18 energy, the Pixie's Armor of Encanta for 23 energy, and the Pixie's Enchanted Boots for 18 energy. Just like the other gauntlet, you can also get energy gear from lower tiers, but they won't give as much energy as the level 100 set. Tier 1 can drop gear from any level to level 10, Tier 2 drops levels 20 to 30 gear, Tier 3 drops levels 40 to 50 gear, and Tier 4 drops levels 60 to 70 gear. If you do get the full level 100 set from Tier 5, you should get an extra 59 energy total. Alright, now that we've covered gear sets, it's time to focus on rings, Athames, and wands that also give you free energy. There aren't really any low-level options for energy unless you're willing to pay up, but if you're willing to be patient, you first get a decent free option starting at level 56 with the Wintertusk crafted rings and Athames. First, you'll need access to Wintertusk, which means you'll need to finish up any Grizzleheim quests you've sitting around. You'll then need to progress through Wintertusk until you could get access to Vesterlund and find Ingolf the Grower just past this field of crops. He offers for sale a variety of recipes, but the ones we're interested in are the Wintertusk Ring of Valor, Wintertusk Ring of Bravery, Garnet Bearclaw, and Emerald Bearclaw. Both rings give 4 energy, while the Athames give 2 energy, for a total of 6 energy when you equip both a ring and Athame. You can take your pick from each option you'd like to craft, since the energy is the same regardless. Note that to craft them, you'll need to have the Grandmaster Artisan Crafting Badge as well. Another important note is that you cannot use a regular crafting bench to craft these, which may not be immediately obvious. So before you get all the way back to your house and then come to comment here and whine that your crafting table is broken like I know some of you will do, chill out and put your listening ears on. You need to head back to Northgard and then into the Hall of the Ice Forge to the right of the waterfall. Inside, you'll find the crafting anvil, which you can interact with to craft your stuff. You're welcome. If, however, you really hate crafting, there are a couple more options coming up at slightly higher levels. At level 72 in Avalon, you can get a bunch of school rings that will give you an extra 3 energy to work with. There are 7 different school-specific rings and 1 universal ring, which drop from a bunch of different enemies in Avalon, but they are likely more easily found at the Bazaar. I'll leave a link below with all the different ring options, but they include the Bad Host Band for Balance, the Band of the Lost Abbey for Storm, the Bannerman's Honor-Bound Ring, which is universal, the Circle of Caliburn for Ice, Dundara's Triskelion for Life, Ganelon's Lost Ring for Myth, Knight Errant's Seal for Death, and Lake Spiral Ring for Fire. All the rings are solid options in that they also give some other nice stats besides just energy, like power pip chance and damage, with the trade-off being 1 less energy than the crafted Wintertusk rings, so you can decide which works better for you. If, however, you want to just wait a few more levels, you can get a pretty major upgrade with the level 76 Avalon rings. There are 7 rings in all, 1 for each of the schools, and each one can give you an extra 5 energy. The downside to these rings is that they are no auction, which means you cannot get them from the Bazaar, but instead have to farm for them. However, I think they are worth the effort, and you may find you get them naturally just while questing through Avalon. The rings include the Brisk Circle of Nodor for ice, Deep Water Rising Ring for storm, Lady of the Lake Signet for life, Nameless Ring for balance, Sir Corwin's Ring for myth, Sir Mallory's Seal for death, and the Toasty Band of the Fire Elves for fire. These rings also give some nice power pip chance and damage bonuses, so you may find them useful for your questing gear too. Since there's so many drop sources, I'll once again leave a link below to all the rings so you can find out which might be the best place for you to farm. Moving on to your best level 100 free energy options are the Aphrodite rings, Athames, and wands from Darkmoor. You can access this boss by using a stone skeleton key on the gate immediately to the left when you enter the third and final dungeon in Darkmoor, otherwise known as the Graveyard. And to clear up any confusion, this skeleton key boss used to be gold, but since one of the more recent updates, it has been changed from gold to stone. Anyway, if you can defeat her, Aphrodite drops a bunch of school rings, Athames, and wands, all of which can give you a respectable amount of energy. Note that Aphrodite actually drops 2 different types of rings for each school. One is a damage ring with no energy, and the other ring gives critical along with energy. You want the second ring. If you manage to get your correct school ring to drop, you'll get 8 energy total. In addition, the school Athames and Universal Athame all give 6 energy, so it doesn't matter which you get. Finally, she also drops school-specific and universal wands that give you 10 energy as well, for a total of 24 energy if you get 1 of each piece. Many of Aphrodite's drops are highly sought after for endgame damage builds, so you may be farming here anyway, effectively killing 2 birds with 1 stone. After all this though, I just have one question. If this boss is technically Aphrodite 2, where's Aphrodite 1? Think about it, people. What are they not telling us? Finally, for wands are the Revered crafted wands from the Arcanum, which you can use starting at level 125. The recipes for these wands can be bought from Ignis Ferric, but to craft them, you'll need to have already crafted the level 115 legendary wand, also bought from Ignis Ferric, and have the Champion Crafter badge. Once you have all the ingredients for your school wand, you'll need to use the Forge of Legends in the Arcanum crafting room to craft your wand. Again, your crafting stations at your house will not work for this. If you are able to get everything you need, your new wand will give you an extra 11 energy, and as an added bonus, these wands also give fishing luck, which will help a lot if you plan on using your energy gear to fish. Now that we've covered all your basic energy gear options, let's take a look at one of your most important energy additions, pets. There are 4 different energy talents that a pet can manifest through hatching, including energy, which gives 5 energy, big energy, which gives 10, huge energy, which gives 15, and ultra energy, which gives 20. If you can get all 4 on one pet, that means you'll gain an extra 50 energy total, which is quite a lot. However, you can actually gain even more energy with one specific pet, the dappercorgi. This pet can be farmed for from Billy the Cutter, a wooden skeleton key boss in the State Wing part of Barkingham Palace, and bought from the Crown Shop for 8,000 crowns. But thankfully, you can also get it directly from hatching with someone who already owns the pet, although it will still cost you a few crowns to do this. Many people favor this pet specifically because it gives an extra 8 energy, giving you a total of 58 energy if you can also get all the energy talents on it. Obviously, the dappercorgi is the best energy pet option, but there's tons of pets you can search for in the pet kiosk and the pet pavilion with all the energy talents you need, so don't stress too much if you don't have the corgi. You can still get 50 energy on any other pet of your choosing, which isn't anything to turn your nose up at, but he's the best good boy, okay? If for some reason you're struggling to get all 4 talents on a pet, you can also slot pet jewels with any of the 4 energy talents. Ideally, you get all the talents manifested on one pet, but if not, a good mob to farm are the Handsome Fomori and Dundara in Avalon, since they don't have too many drops, and they drop 3 of the 4 pet energy jewels you'll need. Speaking of jewels, there's also regular energy jewels you can slot into your ring, athame, amulet, or deck, not just your pet. There are energy opals ranging from +1 to +5, but only the +1 versions can be accessed outside of opening packs with crowns. The +1 cracked energy opals drop from Aphrodite and Darkmoor, so you may get lucky while farming her for your other energy gear. If you're sick of farming, however, you can also get them from ultra plants including Ultra Dandelion, Ultra Elephant Ears, Ultra King Parsley, and Ultra Snapdragons. The cracked energy opals are tear-shaped, and if you slot 1 each into your ring, athame, amulet, and deck, you can get an extra 4 energy for your trouble. Okay, those are a lot of different options to sift through, so the real question is, what is the best possible combination of all these different free energy sources to get the most possible energy for your wizard? Let me break it down for you. For your hat, you have two best options, the level 100 Pixie's Mask of Encanta or the level 90 Greenwarden's Energetic Mask, both of which give you 18 energy. Of the two, I would recommend farming for the Greenwarden's Mask because of what comes next. For your robe, you'll want the level 90 Greenwarden's Energetic Shroud, which gives you 24 energy, and the best option for boots are the level 90 Greenwarden's Energetic Boots with 19 energy. Since the Greenwarden's level 90 set gives the best energy, you might as well farm it all together at once for the sake of convenience. For your ring and Athames, the best options are both from Aphrodite, where you'll want to farm for your level 100 School Ring, which will give 8 energy, and your School Athames with 6 energy. Moving on to the wand, your best choice is your school's level 125 crafted Revered wand, which gives 11 energy. Finally, you'd ideally want the dappercorgi pet with all 4 energy pet talents for 58 energy and slot 4 cracked energy opals in all your available tier slots for 4 extra energy. Adding all these pieces up nets you a grand total of an extra 148 energy, which is pretty darn good for being essentially free. I hope this guide helped you all, and if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. As always, I hope to see you out there in the spiral, and happy questing!